But tonight, the president dealt a first round, announcing 25% tariffs on any country doing, quote, any and all business with Iran.
South of Tehran in Isfahan, clashes unfolding in the streets. Security forces now using live ammunition on demonstrators. A source describing the scene to Fox News as a battle. Human rights groups estimate 544 people have been killed in the last week. That number expected to rise amid the internet blackout. President Trump warned the U.S. would intervene if the regime cracked down on protesters.
The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options.
The options reportedly range from airstrikes to sanctions to anti-government propaganda and cyber attacks. But the unrest is giving way to an opening for new talks on a nuclear deal.
What the Iranian regime is saying publicly is quite different from the messages they are sending to the United States and the Trump administration privately.
Envoy Steve Witkoff got a call from the Iranian foreign minister over the weekend, the White House confirmed. But nuclear talks last June ended with no deal, the U.S. bombing Iran's nuclear facilities in October. The country's exiled crown prince making this appeal.
Mr. President, you have already established your legacy as a man committed to peace and fighting evil forces. There is a reason why people in Iran are renaming streets after your name. They know that you are totally opposite to Barack Obama or Joe Biden.
Analysts say a kinetic strike, quote, could galvanize bigger protests, at least for a time. But it could just as easily backfire because it might signal that Mr. Trump is not really serious about following through more significantly on his threats. Protesters could be demoralized, while the regime would feel emboldened to crack down harder. Democrats with this warning.
Last time America militarily intervened in Iran to change a government was 1953. Right. CIA overthrew a government there. Most historians would say that led to the Ayatollahs.
One Mideast expert told Fox today the window for action is closing because the president drew a red line on violence against civilians, and he will need to act on his promise. Meantime, the president is also doubling down on his pursuit of Greenland, saying if the U.S. doesn't take it, Russia or China will, and he is not going to let that happen. Brett.
Jackie, the president also sending this implicit message today to the U.S. Supreme Court as it considers this challenge on his tariff authority. What about that?
Yeah, the president said if the court does not rule in his favor, the U.S. is, quote, screwed, arguing it would take years to unwind the question of how many hundreds of billions of dollars would need to be paid back for charges that have already been levied on imports. And that does not even include all of the investments that countries and companies made in order to get lower tariff deals. A decision from the Supreme Court is expected in the next couple of weeks, Brett.